strain insulators, shackle insulators, stay insulators. So basically we are going to discuss about 5 different type of insulators. We can understand that the potential distribution over a string of suspension insulators. Different type of insulators is already discussed in your class, and then I would like to go to the next section, that is potential distribution over a string of suspension insulators. This type of suspension insulators are shown in the figure. Number of insulators are connected, and we can find out what is the voltage distribution across the string of the insulators. Let's consider the type of insulator, that is consider a type of string which has got 5 different type of five insulators, 5 in suspension insulators. The number of the insulators that is porcelain made are connected with the help of the metal links. So the figure shows the string insulators and a string of L1 string of 4 porcelain disc suspension insulators. See, here you can see the 4 different 4 suspension insulators. The porcelain portion, which is an insulator, is in between the two metal fittings. That is, thus it forms a capacitor. This is called as a self-capacitance or mutual capacitance. Hence, the whole string is shown in the figure 11 here. It will consist of 4 such capacitors in series. If only these capacitors would exist, the voltage across each capacitor would have been equal. But there is a series charging current through them would have also been same. But in addition to the self-capacitance, there will be capacitance between each metal fitting and the earth or the tower. So the air acts as the dielectric strength, and such as the capacitance called as shunt capacitance. If we see in the figure, there are 2 types of capacitors here. This is called as the shunt capacitance that exists between the tower and then the metal link that is at the top of the insulator. So there are 2 types of insulators. There are 2 types of capacitance which are shown. Due to the shunt capacitors, the charging current is no longer going to be same all across the series of capacitors which are considered. So the mutual capacitors and the shunt capacitors are as shown in the figure. Assuming the design of each type of section of the string same, the mutual capacitors are assumed equally parallel to all the shunt capacitors. Similarly, all shunt capacitors are assumed to be equal. There will be capacitance between the metal fittings and the line conductors also, but the value is going to be very small, hence it is neglected. The currents I1, I2, I3 and I4 are the charging currents flowing through the mutual capacitors, whereas the small I1, I2, I3, I4 are the currents that is flowing through the shunt capacitors. If we see the diagram here, it can show the potential distribution. Due to the different currents that is flowing through, each capacitor will get charged at different potential. Hence, the voltage across each one of them is going to be different, which is indicated as V1, V2, V3, V4 in the figure. And hence, the voltage across each section of the string will be different, and it is shown here in the graph as V1, V2, V3, V4. From this diagram, we can understand that V4 is greater than V3, V3 is greater than V2, V2 is greater than V1. So the voltage drop, the V1 is the least compared to all the 4 different voltage drop that happens. V4 is going to be the maximum, hence the insulator adjacent to the line conductor is under the maximum electrical stress, and then it is liable to puncture. That is, it is the first one which is going to experience the lot of electric stress, and then that is the first one due to any kind of problem, that is the first one to get punctured. So the graphical representation of such potential variation is as shown in the graph which we have seen. The string efficiency is one of the most important parameter that is to be understood here. The non-uniformity in the voltage distribution over the string of the suspension insulators expressed in terms of the parameter called as string efficiency. The string efficiency is defined as the ratio of the total voltage across the string to the product of the number of units and the voltage across the line adjacent to the line conductor. So string efficiency is nothing but equal to the voltage across the string divided by the N into the voltage across unit that is adjacent to the line conductor. N is going to be the number of insulators or the number of discs that are connected, number of units that are in the string. The string efficiency is calculated Hi friends, welcome you back to the lecture video session on the insulators that are used in the transmission line, overhead transmission lines. So we were discussing in the previous lecture video about the string efficiency and the importance of it. String efficiency is nothing but the ratio of voltage across the string to the N multiplied by the voltage across the unit adjacent to the line conductor, where N is nothing but equal to the number of units or the disc in the string. So now the string efficiency is calculated based on the string that is used for the each line, and hence the voltage across the string is the voltage of the conductor with respect to the earth. More the value of the string efficiency, more uniform is the voltage distribution across the string. For the ideal case, the string efficiency is considered as 100% and the voltage across each string disc of the string is considered as equal. There are many methods that are used to obtain the high string efficiency. Method to calculate the string efficiency is: consider a string of 4 discs here as shown in the figure. Let the voltage drop across each string is going to be V1, V2, V3, V4. Let the voltage distribution is shown as shown in the figure. So C1 is nothing but equal to K multiplied by C. All the shunt capacitance are expressed as C1, and C1 is nothing, the C1 can be expressed in terms of the capacitance here, that is the mutual capacitance multiplied by the constant K, that is C1 is equal to K into C. C1 divided by C is nothing but equal to the constant K. The shunt capacitance is K times the mutual capacitance. So applying the Kirchhoff's current law at the nodes, which are shown here as the P, Q, R, S. So at each one of the node, if we apply the Kirchhoff's current law, we will be able to find out the current distribution. So let us apply the Kirchhoff current law at the node P. Node P is here. So now the incoming current is nothing but I2 and the outgoing current is nothing but the sum of I1 plus I1. So keep this as equation 1. Similarly, we know that the IC is nothing but equal to VC divided by XC. XC is nothing but the capacitive reactance. XC can be expressed in terms of omega, that is VC divided by 1 over omega C, that is nothing but VC into omega C. Omega is nothing but equal to 2 pi into F, VC into 2 pi F into C. Now using this equation 1, we can see that 2 pi Fc V2 is nothing but equal to 2 pi Fc 1 V1 plus 2 pi Fc V1. Similarly, voltage across the C1 is V1 as shown in the figure. So C into V2 is nothing but equal to C1 V1 plus C into V1. So V2 is nothing but equal to, if we take out the V1 as common, V1 into 1 plus C1 divided by C, that is C1 divided by C is nothing but equal to K, the constant. So we can express the V2 in terms of V1, that is V1 into 1 plus K. Keep this as equation 2. Similarly, apply the KCL to all the nodes Q and R and S. Then we will be able to find out what are the currents. When we apply the KCL to the node Q, then I3 will be equal to small I2 plus capital I2. Similarly, I have applied the Kirchhoff's current law to all the nodes here to find out the equation for the voltages
V3. V3 is equal to V1 into 1K square plus 3K plus 1. Similarly, applying the KCL to the node R, we can we can find out the expression for the voltage V4 by knowing the current expression as I4 is equal to I3 plus I3. Finally, we will be able to find out the voltage distribution across all the insulator discs, and V is nothing but the total voltage across the entire disc, entire string is nothing but equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus V4, and keep this as equation 7. So now we know that the voltage across each one of them can be expressed in terms of K. So V4 is nothing but equal to V1 into KQ plus 5K square plus 6K plus 1, whereas V3 is nothing but equal to V1 into K square plus 3K plus 1, and V2 is nothing but equal to V1 into 1 plus K. So all the voltages V1, V2, V3, V4 are expressed in terms of V1. V2 equals V1 into 1 plus K, whereas V3 is equal to V1 into K square plus 3K plus 1. Coming to the V4, V4 is equal to V1 into KQ plus 5K square plus 6K plus 1. Now the total voltage is V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus V4. If we add all
So K is nothing but equal to, from this we can understand K is nothing but 0.25. So if we apply this K, if we assume that K is equal to 0.25, which is the constant, and if we apply it to the equation to find out what is V2, V2 is nothing but equal to V1 into 1 plus K. If we apply the value of K here, then we can find out that V2 is 1.25 V1. Similarly, apply it to V3. V3 is nothing but V1 into K square plus 3K plus 1. Then we will be able to find out that as 1.8125 V1. Then V4 is nothing but equal to 2.8281 V1. V is the total of all this V1 plus V2 plus V3 plus V4. So finally it will be V is equal to 6.8906 V1. Therefore the voltage across the unit nearest to the line conductor is going to be the maximum one. So now for the string efficiency, it is nothing but the ratio of voltage across the total string divided by N into the total voltage, that is the voltage across the string, voltage across the disk which is close to the conductor. Then here in this case it is V4, V divided by N into V4, V is nothing but equal to 6.8906 V1 divided by 4 into 3.8281 V1. So we know if N is equal to 4, then the string efficiency is equal to 60.91%. Similarly, for the different values of N and different values of K, we can find out what is the string efficiency. Now, to conclude this, the string when N is equal to 4, then K was equal to 0.25. The string efficiency was just 60.91%. More the value of K, the greater the non-uniformity, and then the lesser the string efficiency. With more number of units in the string efficiency decreases and the calculation becomes tedious. So for this, the string should have minimum number of units and it should be more effective. So each line of the three-phase system, I have considered some of the problems here using this V1 and V2 and V3 and V4 expressing in terms of V1 values. I have calculated some of the problems here. You can go through this and then you will be able to understand how to express the different voltages, that is V2, V3, V4 in terms of V1. And finally calculate the string voltage all across, that is depending on the number of units that are there, that is depending on the number of disks that are there. Here in this case there are three different disks, so it is V is equal to V1 plus V2 plus V3. Finally, after calculating the voltage V, we can calculate the string efficiency. String efficiency is nothing but equal to voltage across the string divided by N into voltage across the unit into 100. So voltage across the string in this particular problem is 52.0609 divided by N into voltage across the string, the unit is given as 20. So you can, N is the number of insulators, that is 3. So calculate it, then we could find out that it is 86.768. So it is inferred, it is confirmed that the total number of units, if at all there are less number of insulators, then greater will be the string efficiency. So how to improve the string efficiency for if the number of units are more? There are different methods to improve the string efficiency. Higher the value of the string efficiency, more uniform is the potential distribution over the string of suspension insulators. So there are some methods to increase the efficiency to the higher level. They are: the first one is reducing the ratio of the shunt capacitance to the self capacitance. Second one is by grading the insulators. Third one is use of the guard ring to provide the static shielding. So let's consider one by one. The first one is reducing the ratio of shunt capacitance to self capacitance. So shunt capacitance to self capacitance is K. K is equal to C1 divided by C. If we reduce the value of the K, then string efficiency is going to increase. So this string efficiency is dependent on the voltage across each line unit. So the lesser the value of the K, higher the value of the string efficiency, and more uniform is the voltage distribution. So the voltage across the various units of the string are almost equal and are very values of, for the very low values of K. So then from K is equal to C1 divided by C. To reduce the K, we can either reduce the value of the C1 or we can increase the value of the C. This is the how to reduce the value of the C1. It is possible by increasing the distance between the insulator and the earth. That is the tower, that is from the tower. That is earth means like if at all. So K is equal to C1 divided by C. To reduce the value of the K, we should keep the value of the C to the maximum. That is possible by increasing the distance between the insulator and the earth, that is the tower. The length, therefore the length of the cross arms should be increased. But there are certain limitations to increase the length of the cross arms. One is that if we try to increase the cross arms, the length of the cross arms, cost will be high, and the overall strength of the tower should also decreases, because this kind of method is less in practice. Now the second type of the method to increase the sting efficiency is grading the insulators. How to grade the insulators? In this method, the mutual or the self capacitance of the insulators are varied from each other. In this method, the sizes of the insulators are so selected that the capacitance of the unit that is near to the line conductor is maximum, and it keeps reducing, moving upwards. So hence the capacitor near the tower has the minimum value, and by keeping the line capacitance value to the maximum, the current flowing through will be minimum. Thus, by using the different sized insulators, a string of uniform distribution, voltage distribution can be achieved. So designing is going to be the complicated one at different sizes of because it involves the different sizes of the insulators and compiling them. Since the design is complicated, the grading of the insulators are used only for high voltage system of around 200 kV and above, and for normal system this system is not in use. So what is the third type? Third type is usage of guard ring. If we use the guard ring, there is a possibility to increase the sting efficiency. So in this method, large metal ring, we can see the guard ring here. Large metal ring is introduced, and it is going to surround the entire line capacitances, and it is going to be connected to the metallic part of the bottom of the line unit and is used in a ring shape. That's why it is called as the guard ring. It is also called as a static shielding of the string. The entire string is shielded by the guard ring here. Use of the guard ring increases the capacitance between the metal part of the insulator and the line. So the primary aim of the guard ring is to reduce the electric stress on the lower units. So the arcing horns are also going to be used in case of any flashover. The porcelain will be cracked, and then it will be broken up by the power. So as a precaution to this, in order to safeguard the insulators, the arcing horns are used. These arcing horns are the rings are installed on a few overhead lines. One of the arcing horn is earthed. Here, and other are electrically connected through the metallic link to the line conductor. This is the line conductor. So these are arranged in such a way that the arc is taken by the electrode, and then it is held at a distance from the porcelain, so the excess heat will be avoided, and then the puncture will be avoided. Once the puncture is avoided or the cracks are avoided, the insulators are safeguarded. So in this kind of ring design, the arc can form at any point around the insulator, and if formed at the back, it can be blown without damaging the insulator. In addition to this, the horns at the earth end are shaped in such a way that it transfers the arc upwards and then outwards from the insulator string, and this increases the arc length as quickly as possible. Thereby increasing the arc length, the quenching will be minimized. It allows to extinguish faster, and the application of this device lowers the flashover voltage of the insulator, and then the life of the insulator can be increased. So far in this first module, we have discussed about the different type of the insulator, we have discussed about the sag, and we have discussed about the effect of the sag, and we also discussed about the wind and then the pressure, and then the conditions that are going to exist, and what are the effects of wind and the pressure on the overhead line conductors. So with this, we are coming to the concluding part of the module 1, which is going to be the basics of the transmission line, and then the basics of the power system components which are used. To recap this, we will have the highest efficiency if the higher sting efficiency is maintained. With this, I conclude this module 1. See you in the next videos. Thank you.